So yes, where are you at with your goals towards Ruby? Where are you at with your steps? How many distributors, how many loyal customers do you need to complete your steps? And let's talk about this. I'm actually going to change my settings real quick. Let's talk about, because we're going to talk about a few things today, so I'm going to keep us on track. But let's talk about what made why aren't you Ruby? Kamisha, you gonna talk? I see you did jump like you wanted to say something. Oh, and let's change our verbiage, guys. It's not how far you are, it's how close you are. And we don't retain, we reload. Okay. So we always want to have forward thinking and forward talking and forward speech when we talk. You always want to focus on the cup being half full and not half empty. I know for me, I know exactly why I'm not Ruby. But this is not about Rachel. This is about y'all. So tell my kid, because clearly he just thought I was in here twiddling my thumbs. Anybody want to be brave enough to talk? Come on, y'all. Y'all know I sit here and just wait on you. We do this. Anybody hit they goal? Who Ruby? Who reloaded Ruby and won a shirt? There's actually somebody out here who's reloaded Ruby. All right, we got comments. I didn't put in all the needed work. Okay, 1 to reload Ruby. 1 BV, 1 DT, 1 DT. Honestly, don't know. I am posting and messaging. Oh, that's good. Okay, so then I'll share why I know I'm not Ruby. So the reason why I haven't reloaded Ruby is because my focus was in the wrong place. So it's not that you're not working per se. I don't know, but maybe your focus is in the wrong place. So for me, I need to take the time to I've had a lot of one-to-ones in the beginning, but they need to be focused on the people who are new and need to get the volume, because as they push towards their 6 loyal customers, guess what will happen to volume in those important places? That would have retained my Ruby, or reloaded my Ruby. So it's not always about you doing the wrong thing. The question is, are you doing the right things? So think about the people that you welcomed into the business last month. Are they flourishing? And sometimes we might put ourselves in a position to where we're talking about, well, no, they're not flourishing because they won't show up, or they won't respond to me, or whatever, right? So we get paid very good money to find out what makes people tick. That's like your job. Like, that's what you get paid to do. You get paid to find out what makes people tick. Now, that's whether it's a customer or whether it is a distributor. And the real bang for your buck comes when it's a distributor. It always makes me think back to, she's actually on here right now, when I met this young lady at Lactation Circle, and we started to connect. I was like, we're besties, right? Because I need to figure out what it is that I can do in order to help this girl flourish and grow. So we are legit besties now. Like, I gotta figure it out. And then at a certain point, it becomes, after you've given them so much of yourself, it comes up to them being willing to keep hanging on, but then go find their own bestie, right? That art of duplication. So are you being besties? And I can say I haven't really, not as much as I used to before, been as much as a bestie to my new distributors. How many people, when you went to your job, you got trained? How many people's training was more than an hour? How many people's training was a face-to-face setting where there were no other distractions? How many people's training was more than one day? For 8 hours. You think about that? So are your business partners being effectively trained in order to put them in a position to where they can experience the maximum level of success that they really desire or that you desire for them? You think about that? Is that a aha? Now, I'm gonna tell you guys pre-quarantine, it was easier to train distributors for me because especially if they were local, because I would just have them tag along. Because as they tag along, they're gonna learn, right? As they come to meetings, they're gonna learn. As they're in my space, it's easier for me to teach them. But what do you do when you can't have them tag along or you can't be in their face all the time? And what's so crazy is the Diamonds got a training on this today. So there's so many resources when it comes to It Works, or even your team may have resources. But what are you doing? And you know what, Javon, I wouldn't even say that it's much harder. I would say that it's different. Because if you think that it's harder, your perspective will think that it will go negative instead of positive. So yes, it's different. And it may, and honestly, for me, it's not even more work, it's just a different strategy. I'm gonna give you guys an example. So let me see if somebody is on and if she'd be willing to share. Tiffany, where you at? Tiffany, can you come on camera? I'm calling you out. All right, so this is somebody that I got to the privilege of launching from afar. Okay. And we're going to talk about some of the things that I was able to do, but then some of the things that she did when I connected her. Because it was not all just me. I had to have a willing participant. So when I said something, guess what? She had to do it. She beats me to Zooms, right? So that's also a factor to take into place too. So I'm calling you out, girl. Hey, Tiffany. She going diamond this month, so you know she gotta rise up. All right, I want to mute you. So, all right, so give from your perspective in terms of connecting with, or just talk about how I connected with you, to really, because we didn't know each other at all. So how we connected, or how I connected with you, and how I supported you and held you accountable to truly get going, to help you really get the ball rolling in order to start seeing success.
It's just, you told me I must, everything was new for me. So I had to be willing and just show up. So even the times where I got discouraged, you pushed me like, you can do this. Like I had to stretch to, get beyond my feelings. That was number one. Because my feelings were all jacked up. All jacked up. And I'm like, oh, they won't support me, especially family. That's the most biggest part that hurt it. Like when I started, like, I just need y'all to support me. Just buy one thing from me. And once I got beyond that, and I began to be brave, be patient, and be consistent, and send the friend requests. I mean, I have people that I don't even know that support me. And I just continue to post, follow up, send my messages, and just every day I post. Every day I use my story. I don't care if they get tired of it. I don't care. I'm running a business. If you with nonsense, I'm gonna delete, block you, and keep it moving. So you send me messages, you check in on me, And I appreciate it because it held me accountable to be able to work my business, to focus on my business. And I have 4 children. And even now, it's a big adjustment, you know, at first. But even now, this month, since I'm used to it, I know how to work my business. Plus, all 4 of them in school, take time with them with their work and continue, you know, to work my steps, basically. So, yeah,
And
it's super easy. Super easy.
he has been really clutch for you, because even when you were in your feelings, you still showed up. You
Right.
showed up. And then I don't know if you remember, and there's probably multiple of you guys who have experienced this, but she didn't know me from campaign y'all, like for real. And I told her, we got on Zoom, and I said, all right, what's your Facebook login?
Yes. And I'm
Up.
like, oh God, what are they gonna think it's me?
Pull up
But
your
I
screen.
mean,
And we went through, and I think that was a pivotal moment for you, because it wasn't just me helping you with replies. It was showing you that you really weren't doing enough and holding you accountable to do more. So I don't know if you got anything about that before I move on.
I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I got my bonnet on and everything.
It's okay. So I pretty much want to tell you guys that you have to take the time for each individual who comes through your organization to, like, you'll know if they're different. You'll know if they're a self-shooter and a self-starter. But even if they're a self-starter, you still have to steer them. You have to steer the car, because as much as you still know more than they know. And your goal as a coach is to teach them what it is that you know. So group settings are awesome sometimes. But sometimes in leadership, group settings aren't good at all, especially if you're not the kind of leader that can lead a group. That can be a hot mess. Especially, listen, sometimes it's just not necessary. So when you make that one-to-one connection with your business partners, like, they sign with you. There's a reason why they say yes to you. So when you make that connection to them and they know how much you care, then they care how much you know. So I actually had somebody on here who asked about launching. So I want to know, did you have a specific question before we move on to the next topic? It's okay if you want to send me a side message, you can do that too. Or unmute yourself. Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, okay. So I definitely see where I'm falling short with what you guys just talked about, with spending enough time in training. So I'm definitely going to apply that, utilize that a little bit more. I can honestly say that's where I was falling short. So I'm doing the group meetings, doing group text and all that stuff, but not really spending that one-on-one enough time with my newbies to get them to the place where they need to be. I mean, of course you're always going to be learning, but that first part, especially the first 30 days. So
it's important. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really important, because the thing is, like, when a new business partner comes in, first of all, can we just talk about the fact that it works only has you bring in 3 distributors a month? Yeah, think about that. Like, it's 3 distributors. You can't talk to 3 distributors. You can't connect with them. You know, even if it's not every single day, could you send them a message and say, hey, and I think it's productive speech, because sometimes we open up ourselves to something that we really don't want. So you might say, hey, how are you? No. Do you really care how they are? And not that you don't care about how they are, okay? Let me take that back. You care about how they are, but do you really want to know how they are? Because if they're not okay, are you going to offer them counseling? Like, what you going to do in order? So make sure that it's geared towards, hey, I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're not, it's going to get better because we're about to help you win, right? Or I'm about to help you win. We're about to get a customer in the system, because you have to be mindful of the relationship that you have. You have a business relationship. So at the end of the day, if they need a moment, like, you know, that's fine. But they need moments all the time, then you need to refer them for counseling. Like, they need to go see a counselor. And that's not funny. Like, Alexis, you laughing. But I'm serious. Like, they probably really need to go and talk to somebody. This is why I absolutely love Jesus Talk. Because if you can get people in a state of mind to where they start to daily journal and get those thoughts out and actually have those intimate moments when they're with themselves, when they come over to you, guess what? They're ready to work. They might need a change of perspective on something, and you can offer that. But then from there, what is it? Let's sign these loyals and distributors, because 9 times out of 10, you know what? I want you to think right now, just to kind of put some things into perspective. Let's in the comments, if you, I want you to think about the first thing that's on your heart right now, outside of COVID-19, outside of that. The first thing that's on your heart right now, and it's yes or no in the comments, just be honest, it ain't gonna hurt me. Yes or no in the comments. The first thing that's on your heart, can money help it? All I'm seeing mostly, 98%, 90%, 90% is yes. So the people who said yes to you, 90% of what they're going through, outside of things that they may be battling internally, is money. And if you're not helping them make money, then you're not putting them in a position to win. Imagine when they bring me in $150 fast start, how much more they'll be willing to hear from you, because you've helped them win. Imagine when they when they invest their $100 and they make their $100 right back, and that's what you said that they were going to do, and you helped them do it because they were showing up. Because here's the thing, when people don't see results and they're showing up, it's 9 times out of 10, especially if they're within their new window, it's because you're not pushing them hard enough. And here, and this is a thin line. So this is where discernment came into my business. In 2017, I prayed for discernment. So if you have not started praying for discernment over your business, you need to start praying for it. Like, literally pray, God, give me discernment to work in working my business. You need to start praying that. Because when utilizing discernment, you can know how far you can push somebody. Because some people aren't being pushed far enough. And you know why they're not being pushed far enough? Because you're not pushing yourself far enough. Or every time you're at the place where you're at the place of a breakthrough, not a breakdown, you're at the place of the breakthrough, because of the discomfort, you won't break on to the other place. So you don't do it to nobody else. Every time they're at that place and you're at that place, let's talk about you. Let's not talk about your distributors. Let's talk about you. Every time you're at that brink of an explosion or in the brink of taking things to the next level, and you feel that discomfort, you get 10 no's in a row. Every time you're at that place, if you won't allow yourself to break past that and keep going, that is why when your distributor gets 10 no's, you back off. It's uncomfortable. But somebody like me is going to be like, girl, it's all right. Next one's a yes. What's up? And they like, you're crazy. I'm like, yes, I'm crazy. Like, I am crazy, because you have to be crazy. It's the crazy ones who win. It's the crazy ones who are down 50 in a game and come back. That's the crazy ones. The ones that don't have nothing to lose. If I'm losing already, why does it even matter? You already told me no. I might as well keep going until I get a yes. I'm not going to, in this day, feeling like this. We're going to get one basket. I mean, especially, can you look at my layup and see, you know, give me a little tip so that I can make this score before this basket before I go to bed, so I can feel a little accomplishment. Stop being okay with losing. You know, you get up every single day, and I put myself in a position to where I set my intentions for the day. And when I set my intentions today, I was like, all right, cool. So I got these people underneath this leg. I need to increase the volume here, along with all the other things. But the other things are kind of habits, and so I'll do those anyway. But this is the focus, right? And so when I set my intentions for the day, let me tell you. Well, you know what? We could just have honest moments here. How many people on here have been discouraged by your distributor? It can go both ways. You can be discouraged by your distributor because their unwillingness to move their feet. So even in those moments, guys, this is why we complete our steps every single month. Because even in the midst of their discouragement, and this is also why if you're not having your own time in the morning and filling your cup is not, you don't go to your distributors to get your cup filled. Now, you may get your cup filled when talking to them, but that's not why you go and talk to them. You go to help them in order to fill their cup. That's your job. From the head flows. You're supposed to be so full that you fill up and it overflows. So full that it overflows to your organization. So full. And so if you're not taking the time out to fill yourself, then you definitely need to readjust. And today is the perfect day to do it because you got all this time left. If you're not filling up right now, just be honest with yourself, and you don't have to drop this in the comments. If you're not filling yourself up, if you didn't feel full today, granted there are times when you may just have an off day. That's normal, like it happens. But if you constantly get up every single day and work your business and you're drained, something isn't right. Stop doing something that isn't right. I would rather you be consistent in one area than trying to do the most and now you want to quit. You know, I did a video about prelims, and this was the next thing that I want to talk about today. But there's a point in your business where you have to stop putting an end date, subconsciously putting an end date on your business. Hold on a second, guys. Clearly quarantine. All right, sorry. Listen, my kids need to go to bed. Anyways, so why aren't they in bed? Okay, because it's only 8:30. Okay, anyways. So there comes a time where you're mentally or subconsciously putting an end date to your business. It's like subconsciously. You work your business from month to month. Who does that? Be honest. Who works their business from month to month? Every month is an end to you. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. I did it for years. That is not how you're supposed to work your business. Do y'all know that? You're not supposed to work from month to month. Now, you set goals within a month, but setting a goal is not setting an end date to what you're accomplishing. I said this to somebody today. Well, what's your ultimate goal in works? What do y'all want? What rank do you want to hit? Drop that in the comments. What rank do you want to hit? Or like, what's your goal? Like, what would you, if you went this rank, you'd be like, yes, I did it. Like, what is that? What is that for you? Is it diamond? Like, is it ambassador? Is it like diamond? Like, is it just triple? Like, if I just did triple, ooh, she killed it. Let me leave some of these comments. The reason I asked you this is because hashtag and then what? And then what? So you go triple. And then what? Do you have an and then what? This is real. This is real Monday meetup right here, okay? I might have to unmute some of my veterans so that they can talk, because this is legit Monday meetup. And this was probably about a year and a half ago. We maybe 2 years. We were like, okay, and then what? Ooh, Rachel hit top 50. And then what? Ooh, she hit like, and then what? Like, come on, like, what are you really doing here? Are you fulfilled by a number? And then what? And if you don't know that and then what before you get there, then you're gonna waste time trying to figure out, and then what? You will be like, I went diamond, yeah. And you'll be like, all right, pull out this double chart, but you have no reason. That was never in the goals. Like, it was just, I guess that's next. You know, I went diamond, so now I guess I'm going double. And then it's like, but why? Why? Oh, so I can make more money. Like, why? Oh, so I can buy some shoes. Like, really? You think you finna go double so you can buy some shoes? Like, you're not gonna go double for that. So have you ever thought about the and then what? If you haven't, like, you cannot answer right now. I would suggest the journaling prompt. What do I really want and why? And I would suggest doing it like every day for 7 days. You will surprise yourself. Just a week straight, every day for 7 days. The first thing, after you do your gratitude is, what do I really want and why? And let me tell you, it will reveal some stuff inside of you that you'll be like, oh my goodness. I was looking at my journal. A friend of mine, we did a prompt for 7 days, and I was looking through it, and I was like, yo, I sound like crazy journaling this prompt. But that's how confused I am in my mind. What do you really want and why? And it's crazy. It's like, I didn't sign up for this business for that. Like, I just came to make some coins. I just wanted some money. I tell you, you wanted that money, and then what? Just saying. And then what? You get the coins, and then what? You're making an extra $2,000 a month, and then what? This is why people get stuck at their job, because they had no and then what? And then they're unfulfilled because they didn't know what was next. I'm reading a book right now. This guy, he said he's like partner or something, or CEO of a company. He said, I'm so unfulfilled. He said, I'm so unfulfilled. I would rather take a demotion and live a life on purpose than be a CEO of a company. This was not what this is not what I desired. I'm not making a difference. I'm not fulfilled. So you think money will fulfill you? It won't. I'm not saying don't make no money. Make the money, baby. Okay, make it. But have a reason behind making it. So do that journaling prompt, man. Let me tell you, do that journaling prompt. What do I really want and why? Do it for 7 days straight. If you haven't done it in a while, do it in a while. I want to hear from somebody though. What do you guys, what's going through your heads? You should be able to unmute yourself. If you're not, just let me know. Anybody brave enough to unmute? Oh, go ahead, Mary.
Hey, Rachel. So when you talked about the and then what, all I can think about, so 2 things. One is running my business like it's a month at a time. And that's because of my full-time job with this, it's, you got 30 days to get it done, and then you start the next month, on the 1st, is you start at the bottom again, and you try to hit your number. And so that's in my mind just from my vocation. of doing that. But the other thing that you just said that really hit me was with the and then what is every time we run a promotion. Okay, sell all these samples because you're going to get so many codes to, be able to get in for 50% off. So I do all this stuff, I get all the codes, and it's like, and then what? Like, go use the codes. There's this like, let me just get this part done, not thinking through, once I get them, let me already have the people lined up to use the codes. So when you said that, it just really struck me that it seems like every time there's a promotion, I'm running so far, but I'm not getting to that next step.
That's really good. I'm assuming y'all can't unmute yourself. So if somebody got a hand, just let me, or just drop a comment and I can unmute you. That is so good because it makes me think about, okay, this is not necessarily your circumstance, but it reminds me of myself and being a pawn, right? So I remember in 2018 when we went to conference, all the announcements went forth, Jesus. And I told the team, I was like, and now we can go back to how we were working and just reap the harvest. We don't, like, here's the thing. You should be working the way you work. And in terms of being brave, being patient, being consistent, like you should not need a promotion to make you to entice you to work your business. That's how you know when you're all in. You should put deadlines on yourself. You should put yourself in a position and set goals to reach higher because you know you're in them what? When you do that daily exploration, it puts yourself in a position to where you want more because you want to give more, because you want to live more, or because there are plans that you have that you want to fulfill, right? And I'm going to tell you this, if you're crazy enough to believe it, you can do it. The problem is when you get around people who suck life from you, and then you stop believing what it is that God told you could happen, or you stop believing what it is that you believe for 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds of courage. Like, yes, I can go ambassador this year. Nobody said you can't like go ambassador this year, especially from you go from distributor ambassador in a year. People have done it in like 6-7 months. But are you willing to work your business, not their business? Because that's the thing. Oh, can we just talk about that? Come on, we go. So a lot of times what happens is when you're inspired by other people's story, well, what I've seen is when people are inspired by other people's stories, you decide you're going to work their business now instead of working your business and just letting them be an inspiration for the fact that you can do it. You're not them. The time frame lets you know that it's possible. It reminds me of the story about the first person who ran a 4-minute mile. So they didn't think that a 4-minute mile was possible, but somebody did it and proved that it could be done. But that doesn't mean that it takes me the same training that it took him in order to do a 4-minute mile. My training may be completely different than the person who initially did it the first time. And if I'm looking and studying, not that I can't study what he did to learn, just to learn the basics of the body and all that, and maybe get some ideas for myself, but I have to know myself enough to know what I need in order to hit goals like that based on what they did in order to accomplish it. That was a word for somebody. They went ambassador in 7 months and they didn't sleep. You take a day off. Can't look the same. They went ambassador in 7 months and already had a network. You're starting with just platonic networks. It's not going to look the same. That does not mean you can't do it. It's just not going to look the same. And this is where comparison comes into place. Because now you're like, well, she did it, I can do it. But that's true, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna look the way that it looked for her. I mean, that it looked, right, the way it looked for her, for you. And this is crazy because this takes me to even like the whole Black Diamond. And I found myself like studying Steph and Joel, Cammie and Denise Walsh, and there was another one way back in the day. And I was studying them and how, you know, they built to Black Diamond, and it became pointless. It was actually a waste of my time because I didn't study nobody when I was going presidential. Can I just be honest? I didn't care what nobody was doing. I just knew we was going presidential. And how was we gonna do it? We was gonna fill in the boxes. That was it. I'm being completely honest with y'all. I went presidential in my first 2 years in the company. Took me 2.5 years exact. No experience at all. None. My networks were all platonic. And most of my network doesn't even support me, if I can just be honest with you. All of them. None. But I knew I had to fill some boxes. And the boxes were lives. The boxes were lives of people that I got to help them change their life and got to make a difference, even if just for a month. I got to make a difference in their life. I remember there was a girl who signed the month I went presidential. And I mean, we still Facebook friends, and I met her. Let me tell you, I was on my way to Atlanta and I met her. Brianna and I were having drinks before we got on the plane, and because it was turn up season. And she was like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you should make money with me. Like, for real. Like, you should make money with me. Girl signed, filled her box. She didn't even, I think she signed one loyal customer. Voila, presidential. She was the last box I needed. Yeah, I filled we filled, shout out to Andy. We filled these boxes right before, like the day I went presidential was the day I got boxed. Real life. I had way more volume than I needed. And it was harder to do those things back then. The chart was off the chain. Y'all ain't got to do all that no more. Like, y'all got the good life, okay? Woo! Jesus! Listen, it's so different. The day I went presidential was the day I got boxed. Or I think it was the day before. So it really doesn't matter. You can study, I think the biggest thing in terms of your mind is your belief. Putting yourself in a position of your belief. And then your mental is going to be important to keep it and keep going. Anybody can get there, but can you stay there and keep going? Can you stay there and keep going? Yes, your work ethic is the result of your belief. Yes, it is. Can you keep the money? Can you not spend it? So let's move into prelims. That's a good segue. We only got a few minutes left. So who got a raise? Anybody get a raise on here? Yes. Come through, raise. Yes. So let's talk prelims and being a good steward of your finances. And putting yourself in a position of working a finite business, so a business without an end date, to where, well, actually, did y'all know that they're shutting down non-essential purchases? Yeah, I was on Amazon today looking for some shampoo for my dog, and you couldn't buy it. I was like, really? So shampoo is not essential? They're shutting it down, okay? Like, you can't go in the store and buy like clothes anymore. Like, because it's running workers to have to work and deliver stuff that's not essential, which makes so much sense. But it was like, wow. But let's talk about how, yes, ours have been closed. Yep, they've closed down liquor stores. Everything is just shutting down. It's crazy how God works. Like, it's crazy, and I believe that we're just getting started. I don't think that I think I'm praying that the deaths go down, but I don't believe that I believe it'll be a while before we congregate again. So I'll see y'all on Zoom. But definitely miss being in the midst of people. That is my thing. I actually really love it. But that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about being a good steward of your money. How can we want God to bless us? Oh, how can we want God to bless us when, okay, let me use an example. So, for example, when I started this business, guys, I did not tithe. Like, I did not. I don't know. I was young. I didn't know. Well, I guess I knew. I went to church, but I just gave an offering every once in a while, sprinkle an offering here and there. I did not. But I remember when I got that first five-figure check, I was like, oh no, we got to tithe. Because listen, I ain't playing with Jesus' money like I've been playing with his money for forever. But I was like, take this money right now in Jesus' name. Like, I cannot play with this money. But I'm going to charge you guys to get into the habit of giving. God gives to the giver. He gives seed to the sower. And so how much easier, I think about now, I can study Black Diamonds in terms of this. I think about how much the Black Diamonds give. The amount of money that goes out of the Dunn household to help others or to give it to a charitable donation is crazy. God can get something through them. And it's not, we serve a God that is so amazing, right? Because he gives us the desires of our heart. He does. You can't tell me, sometimes y'all could want a candy bar and somebody give you a candy bar. You'd be like, oh my God, I really wanted that. And people think you crazy. You'd be like, but listen, I really want like that specific candy bar. Right? Just gentle winks for God to so let's talk about prelims. And maybe about 2 months ago, I asked you guys this. Maybe, I don't know. If your check next month is $10,000. Ooh, we talked about this in Monday meetup. I'm gonna have Brittany unmute. Okay, if your check is $10,000, right? And next month, what you gonna do with it? I know ain't none of y'all gonna let me eat y'all up on here, so I'm gonna just let Brittany unmute, and I'm gonna say eat y'all up. I mean, like, dissect your finances of where you would put your money. That's what I mean by eat you up. God, am I hip? Like, I might be hip, okay? $10,000. What would you do next month? What would you do with that money? I wonder if the person who said what I wanted, is she on? Okay, she ain't on here, but I'm still gonna use her example. Brittany, oh, there you go. Oh, wait. There you go. You remember this conversation?
Yes. So
it was somebody else, right?
No, it wasn't me, but I remember this. So this is bad, but I don't have the actual amounts. But what I would do is pay my tithes, give some offering, give my mom some money, pay my debt for sure, and then sit on the rest. Normally, that's what I would do.
But do you remember the conversation and what was said?
Yes, I remember what was said. So one of the things that she said was that she would pay up all her bills for like some months or something like that. That's the thing that really stood out to me that I remember, because you pointed that out, and you was like, that's a lack mentality. That's a lack mindset. If it's coming every month, why do you need to pay up your bills? Like, why are you thinking that you're not going to get it again? If you're saying you're putting yourself in a position to get more, you shouldn't be thinking with lack. So paying up your bills shouldn't even be because he said he's going to take care of all your needs. So.
Yeah, it made me think about how, thank you, Brittany. It made me think about what immediately I thought about was tax season. I used to do it, y'all. When I got my refunds from school and when I got taxes, I would pay everything up. Just in case, player, we good. We got somewhere to live. We're good. Okay, we got food stamps coming. We're gonna have some food. Like, we're set. I'm not expecting money to come to me. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna get this. Now, I'm not saying be irresponsible with your money, but do you have an abundance mindset to where but you believe that as you move forward, that income will grow? Or do you want to just hit $10,000 one time and then stop because you're tired? Oh, I did it. This is where the and then one comes into play. So I love what you guys shared, but what and then what? What if your emergency fund is set, pay all that debt off, and then what? So it's something I guess I really want you guys to explore. Yeah, it's definitely something to explore, because it'll help you dig so deep to know. And what's so crazy, guys, is I'm gonna tell y'all, God is so awesome that you may not even know right now. That's the crazy part. God may put some things on your heart, but it may change. And when you get the check, if you got the check and God said, well, this is a very substantial increase for you, celebrate it. It's amazing. But go ahead and give you 1,000 for tithes, and then 4,000 I want you to give to such and such. Some of y'all be like, no, that's the devil. I ain't hearing what you talking about. For real, I'm serious. Like, seriously. And then God like, all right, player, you can be Ruby next month. Like, what? Like, you done lost your whole triple diamond check because you ain't willing to be obedient. Like, for real. Why should I keep giving you this $10,000 check? Or you listen to Jesus, and let me tell y'all better be connected to Jesus so y'all don't get played. But you connect and you go ahead and you give that 4,000, and then whoa, next month your check's 17. Whoa, wait, next month, whoa, I thought it would take forever, but just in that spirit of obedience and continuously doing what it is that I'm supposed to do and continue to show up regardless of how much I'm getting paid, and doing the things of being brave, be patient, and being consistent, then God can know that he can trust me so he can bless me, because he knows that when he tells me to do something with those finances, I'll do it. I remember I had did hair one time, and I had $100 bill on me. It's the only time I have $100 bills because I don't ever go get cash. And I went to church and Spirit touched me and Spirit said, Rachel. I said, huh? It's like that $100 bill in your pocket. Go give that away. And I was like, oh yeah, the one I just did hair for yesterday. I mean, I stood on my feet for 8 hours. Like, that one? You mean you want your $10, right? And I gave it away though. I gave it away. Like, can he trust you? So just something to think about, guys. So in all, I want you guys to think about where you are this month when it comes to your diamond promotion, where you're going, and how your mindset every single day when it comes to not the lack of your business, but the flourishment of your business. And you always have to have that cup full mentality. So every time you get up, it's not how far away am I, it's how close am I. And so when you think about it in terms of how close you are to it, you're that much more excited. And you have these markers that are in place. Who can I help today? Who can I get on one-to-one? After. Shout out to everybody who joined the 5 a.m. club. I see y'all. Yes, shout out to y'all. I know it's changing your life. You might be tired when you get up. You might be tired right now. I'm ready for bed because I am in Jesus' name. But it's worth it. Keep going. Keep going. Like now, like my body is so acclimated. I think I'm on like day 26, day 27, and it's just who I am now. I'm getting my whole workout regimen in there. If you're reading a book, I'm getting there. But you're going to do it. So, but I want you guys to put yourself in a position to where when you look at your goals, you're never afraid or putting yourself in a position to where you minimize your goal based on productivity. You don't say, well, I'm not at the pace to get to diamond this month. You're not allowed to say that. That means you need to pick up the pace. That means you need to do more. And every time that you allow your mind to go to a place to where you're not filling yourself up, to where you're not empowered in the moment, then you need to figure it out. What do you need to connect to? Who do you need to watch? What do you need to disconnect altogether and just go take a moment outside and journal and just get it all out and just say Philippians 4 and 6 and 7 and just give everything to God so that you can keep moving in terms of what it is that you're supposed to do, because you're holding on to stuff that doesn't even belong to you. Like this COVID stuff, you can't do anything about it. So every day you get up and you pray over those who have to still go to work. There's a lot of people who are still going to work, family members, friends that are still going to work. You pray about it and then you release it. That is not something you think about or talk about all day. Yeah, quarantine is maybe driving you insane, but you better be grateful because you could be in quarantine by yourself. Well, some people are. If you are, you better be using FaceTime. Do not be isolating yourself, okay? But those who are with family, just be grateful. Man, you have to be grateful. You don't want to make God make you be grateful. Or you don't want somebody close to home to have to experience something. And then it's like, oh, I'm grateful now, God. Or oh, take me back. Now I wish I could have been grateful. So release that, because that's just occupying space that's blocking you from being able to create an increase that can help the people that you're concerned about. Right? So that's something to think about. And then also, how you're launching your newbies is really taking some time to connect with them one-to-one and plugging them into whatever systems that you have. They should know you. They sign with you. And that's one thing for me, I take very personally. Like if you sign with me, then, I mean, I'm going to blow you up until you, and then I'm going to pray that I could flip the switch and then you blow me up because you want me. And I'm okay with that. Because then and that's the release. That's the spirit of release right there. After somebody has been in for a while, you check on them every once in a while, but they really should be blowing you up so that you're released to go and blow up your newbies. And so if you're still blowing up people who've been in the business for a long time, you probably ain't doing it right. And it's okay to say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Like, look, we need to connect. Like, we need to connect because that's automatic for me. It's an automatic, like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, I'm just checking in, because 2 is better than 1. So listen, I'm on point. Like, I just want to make sure that that's like, well, everybody church ain't the same. Because for me, I personally need connection with my spiritual leaders. That's just me, though. I don't know about anybody else, but I need it, especially for where I am. But, and I mean, I'm not saying your upline is your spiritual leader. Hopefully you guys got that correlation. And then your stewardship, guys. Hashtagging, then what? What do I really want and why? So I'm going to pray. Any tips if you've done one-on-one and there's no sense of urgency on their part? Yes, you meet them where they are, and that's okay. We walk with our walkers, we run with our runners, and we don't sit with anybody. If people want to sit, they can sit wherever they want to. You just don't sit with them. Because if you sit, why should they ever get up and walk? If you're not running and they sitting and you sitting right beside them, why should they listen to you? So, and whenever they're ready to get up, they can get up. And I always have people who, if people are not fulfilling that sense of urgency, just treat them like a customer. Get them to fall in love with the product. And when they're ready to build a business, you'll know how to teach them how to do it because you already had done it. So. So Charlotte, I would suggest, you try to connect, and if they're not willing to connect, then there's not really much that you can do about it. It's like extend the hand, y'all. And we gotta get off here because there's there's a power hour. But extend the hand to people. Ooh, that's good. If you guys have never read the story of the who was it? The man that was by the pool of water. What's that story? If anybody knows what it is, just drop the scriptures in the comments so that people can read it on their own. At the end of the day, you extend your hand, or even the man who was begging by the temple doors, even him begging by the temple doors. You gonna take what I have, and if not, serenity prayer is real. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because if not, you will drive yourself insane. You cannot control everything, guys. You be your best self, you show up as your best self, and then you let God handle the rest. And that's it. All right, guys. Yes. Anybody know the verses? If you do. All right. Hope I didn't miss any other questions, but we're going to pray. Oh, I want to tell you guys, next Thursday, I'm actually going to post it in the Emerald and Above group as well as Money Squad. You already have it. I'm doing a host-to-post training with Rachel Jones. It'll be on a different code, so make sure you guys look for the actual post. So next Thursday at this time, and then the following, but you still supposed to be Emerald by then. And I'm going to say something on there about about us, not y'all, us being Emerald by then. So hold yourself accountable because we're going diamond, okay? So I'll share that with you guys, and we're going to talk all things host to post as well as signing people on the spot and the power of the follow-up. So we will be doing that. Yes, thank you. All right, we're going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we will not rush you. We are grateful. We are so grateful. We're grateful for your presence, and we're grateful for what it is that you're doing in our lives. We're grateful for how you're strengthening every single person that's on this call today, and how you're just putting us in a mindset to where we will be able to take our business to the next level. God, thank you for shifting us. Thank you for turning us away from things that are blocking our blessing and blocking us from moving forward. God, if there's anybody on here who's struggling with COVID-19, God, or who have family members who are struggling with it or who have been impacted by it, or family members who have passed away, God, people who are dealing with furloughs, people who are dealing with layoffs, God, we want to remind them today how you are our almighty Father and that you are in control of everything. So God, I pray a spirit of release right now in the name of Jesus. I'm praying that you cover the bodies of everyone on this call and everyone extended through them, God. I'm just praying that you just cover our hearts and our minds as we move forward, and you give us the willingness to open our mouths and utter your power in any given situation. So God, we just love you. We praise you for each and every diamond and above that is on this call. God, give them the strength to do more and to shift and focus on the things that are important. So we just love you. We praise you and we adore you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. So